Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Thank you for joining. Going to give people a minute or two to pop in. And you guys should be able to submit questions. Let me know if, well, I guess, oh yeah, so you should be able to submit questions. So feel free to submit anything that's on your mind. I have a set of questions. And then we are going to move into the live tapping session. And of course, Celeste will be here other time. So this won't be the only time to ask a question, but okay. 8:03, I think we are good to get started. I'm making sure it is recording, because I forgot one time. Yeah. So hi everyone, welcome, welcome. I am so excited for tonight's Q&A and live demonstration. This is something I've really been looking forward to bringing to the community, and also it's a practice I'm looking to embrace and try myself. So I'm so honored to be here with Celeste, a veterinary technician and EFT tapping practitioner. She has created some incredible videos for our community already, and we're so thrilled to get more and learn more about what tapping is, what it can do, the benefits. But yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
And thank you for being a part of Jasper.
Yes, of course, of course.
Um, so I'll go ahead and take some questions. So
Yeah.
for anyone that's new to EFT tapping, how would you explain what it is in like the simplest way possible?
The very simplest way to describe it is to think acupuncture without needles. That's like the shortest explanation because you're hitting acupressure points that are along your traditional Chinese medicine meridians. And just the act of tapping on yourself, you'll see when we start it, just that action lowers your cortisol, helps you relax, just the physical part of it. Then we add on the affirmations, which I know can be a tricky thing to say, like affirmations sound so cheesy, but if you really think about it, the spiraling that happens with things like grief, spiraling kind of is like affirmations, but just bad ones, right? So this can help you negate the bad affirmations and the spiraling. And in a way, you're communicating with your subconscious when you do this, and you're challenging your limiting beliefs, you're dismantling your conditioning, and that comes in really handy for grief when people are expecting you to mask, or maybe it's just not acceptable to talk about such things. Whatever it may be, it can really help you regulate your emotions and kind of just become friends with yourself in the moment if you're spiraling, is the way I would describe it.
Okay. I loved the acupuncture analogy because that immediately resonated with me. Um, and I'm sorry if there's a little background noise. Sorry, guys. But so expand a little bit more on why it's helpful for people moving through grief, stress, or just any sort of like overwhelming feelings.
It's exactly that. When there's grief, stress, and emotional overwhelm, a lot of times it can't be put into words. It seems like it's not like talk therapy is great, but there's only so much you can really say, and sometimes you tire yourself out with just words. Emotions are stored in the body. So this somatic practice can help it move through you. Rarely is it a one and done thing. It's usually a practice, but people have gotten pretty immediate results for things like quitting smoking, especially food issues. Like you'll hear stories where people have had like immediate results. I would say for grief, it's a practice, and you can take it with you through each stage of grief as it works for you.
Wow, that's powerful. I had no idea the extent of it.
Yeah.
What made you get into this? And does your background with the being a veterinary technician, like kind of lean into it at all?
Well, yes, but it's it's probably not what you think. It's more just the dark side of the industry, really, which, I'm sure the veterinarians here can relate to, or just any veterinary support staff. It's the overfunctioning that happens in that kind of role when you have patients relying on you. You might not be getting paid that well, and you're working beyond your shift and not taking care of your needs. So for me, during the pandemic, obviously as a veterinary technician, we never stopped working. It was where was everyone going to take their COVID puppies to? Everyone adopted a pet to have a little friend, which is a great idea, but we weren't in a position to close, it was an essential service. And it was kind of scary. Like we were divided up into teams. So if one person got sick on one team, then the other one took over. Like, we didn't know what this virus really was all about. So it was kind of just like a scary time. And I was just starting talk therapy for myself and was kind of just grasping for all the different ways I could feel better. And in a way, without trying, I kind of addressed my overfunctioning in the role and just kept going with it, and then decided to enroll in the certification from my teacher, Gala Darling. So yeah, we'll get to that. So you'll see the difference between the way I do it and traditional
Okay.
EFT tapping practitioners. Like the tapping method is a really popular one, but you'll see them doing it with just one hand. Whereas in my case, I'll be using both hands for the bilateral stimulation. So that's a big part of the style I got trained in, the Gala Darling method.
I love that. What would you say to someone who feels like super skeptical or nervous or unsure about trying? Um, like I remember when you first told me, oh, and I read the directions, you have to be super hydrated. That intimidated me. That made me be like, well, wait a second. I thought I was just like tapping, but I need to drink a lot of water. Like, is this exerting something? So, like, what would you say to someone that's a little bit like, wait, what is this?
I mean, the water thing, just to answer it quickly, it's kind of like when you get a massage and they recommend that you drink water. And with all Chinese medicine, you're just moving stuck energy basically through the information highway of your body. Like anything that you read about Chinese medicine is going to be like, okay, how can we clear up this blockage? So water just helps do that and keep everything flowing, quite literally. But if someone is feeling skeptical, I feel like the usual reason for that is because of the affirmations and you're saying things out loud, like you're saying that you love yourself out loud. And that, yeah, I'll that's valid. That can feel very silly if you haven't done it before. So in this case, we're going to do it in a group setting. So I feel like that takes away a lot of that right away if you're doing it with someone kind of deal. But otherwise, it's kind of one of those things where it's like if it doesn't work for you, if you don't like it, it's not quite the modality for you, then the worst thing that happens is you don't do it again. But nothing scary is going to happen if you don't drink water, but it won't be as effective. Like before I had the pull to really become a practitioner, I was kind of going along with vibes because this tapping teacher is very fun, like hot pink energy, and she would host weekly Zoom calls where we would all tap together. And I was kind of just there for the vibes and not really drinking enough water, to be honest with you. And I didn't see the effects until I started doing that.
Okay, okay. I love that. And always a good reminder, there's nothing
Yeah.
bad can happen from drinking water.
Yeah. Yeah. It can
Okay.
be intense. Like it can be intense for
Yeah.
sure. Like Christiana like immediately started crying,
Okay.
but that's a good thing also. Like that's releasing
Right.
stuck energy. So it's kind of just about how ready you are to meet yourself sometimes. So that's normal if you're having second thoughts about that, if you're really ready to do that. But you can always start light also. You don't have to
Right.
dig that deep right away. It could just be about like missing my pet and that's okay, even if nobody understands.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. So just like final thoughts before we get into the live demonstration.
Mhm.
Like I guess a little bit more. So you start to talk about what you'll maybe experience, take away from it, but like what truly is the goal? Like what should someone expect? What should someone be kind of relying on this for? Like, are there specific things? Is there a, hey, you'll know it worked when X, or just kind of it's an ongoing practice? Like I think they say with yoga, like you never
Mhm.
become an expert, you just keep practicing.
Yes, exactly. You just keep on practicing. You will notice in some moments that you're not as reactive as you used to be, or you're regulating your emotions better, or maybe you're finding it easier to actually honor your pet's memory than just spiraling about what happened and about other people's perception of how you're handling the grief. It can be very subtle how you notice how you handle things. A lot of people use tapping to stop bad habits and things like that. So that's an obvious one, but grief isn't so black and white or so linear. So I feel like it really just depends on the surrounding circumstances. But I would say it's kind of like a feeling of inner peace, maybe even laughing a little bit or finding some way to smile just a little bit, like making a little bit of light, getting back on your own side, loving, accepting, and forgiving or honoring yourself, no matter what happened, really. And actually believing that, not just repeating the affirmation,
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
the first few times it might be like that. But then
Okay, yeah,
like really believing it, like, you know what? Like, yes, I do love, accept, and honor myself.
yeah. I'm so excited. Are we ready to get started?
Yeah, so this is just like general pet loss,
Yeah.
like just generally addressing it. Would you like me to go through the tapping points first, like just to show what they are?
Yes, I think that would be fantastic. Act as if we're all starting
Right,
from
like,
zero. Perfect
yeah,
beginner.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like to use my dominant hand for tapping. So I would recommend that, but you can try both and see what's comfortable for you. It's about the same amount of pressure as if you were at a concert and you wanted to tap someone's shoulder, maybe to move out of the way or get their attention, so like firm enough, but not, you don't have to like slam it. You can also, when we get to the points, you can experiment with the bilateral stimulation. But the first point is just this side of the hand point. And this is how we always start. It's the letting go point. Usually, when we'll get all the negativity out, all of the bad thoughts that are spiraling in your head, and we stay here for a while. Today, obviously, we're doing an abbreviated version, but we stay here for a bit. And this is the letting go side of the hand point. Then after that, we pause, take a breath. Then we go into the actual tapping points. So the first one is the top of the head. So if you have any mobility issues and you're not able to use both hands or you're only able to hit some of these points, that's totally fine because like I said, these are points that are activating meridian points. So it's not like you can really do it wrong. I mean, obviously, not total freestyle jazz, but if you don't hit it like exactly, it's okay. Then the next point is the side of the eyebrow, about where a piercing would be. After that, the temples, then underneath the eyes. After that, I switched to one hand for under the nose, but I have seen people do this. So whichever one. Then the chin point, again, I like to do one hand, but no rule saying you can't do both. Doing both is also kind of making it like turbo tapping, which I like to think of. We want to turbo everything, right? Then this point here, the collarbone. So if this is too much, you can always just switch to this. I like to do this. After that is the side of the ribs, about where a sports bra or bikini top would be. And then the final point is the wrists. So that would be one full round. Typically in a session, we do a few of those and we just see how we do, kind of. It's kind of usually based on what someone has told me in an intake about their specific situation. Like, so if we were doing a one-to-one,
Okay.
I would be including like specific things about your pet
I
in your
see.
case.
Okay.
But in this case, it can just be general because
Yeah.
there are a lot of common denominators, unfortunately, with pet loss grief. I'm not, I can't really see who's on here, of course. I'll be more active on the app after this. But please make sure that you are hydrated. Now's a good time to take a sip if you haven't. We can get started. All right. So starting on the side of the hand. I miss my pet so much.
Do we repeat after you or just listen?
Yes, repeat after me. Yeah.
Okay.
And also I will add, you can feel free to ad lib. Like if what I'm saying like doesn't resonate and you have something better to say, feel free to do that.
Okay.
It doesn't feel right that they don't exist. And I will say burping sometimes happens. It doesn't matter if I've gotten another pet. No one is replacing anyone. It's really frustrating sometimes. When people just don't understand what I'm going through. They just want me to get over it. We simply don't talk about such things. My pet was such an amazing source of emotional regulation. I want to talk about this. I want to reflect the way I feel inside. I deserve the space to grieve. So even though I feel pressure from society to just get over it, I deeply love, accept, and honor myself. This journey of my grief is very personal to me. And it doesn't really matter what it looks like to anyone else. And so it is. Pausing here and taking a deep breath in. Putting it at the top. Letting it out when you're ready. And usually now is a time that I check in with how we're feeling. Any feedback? Are you tingly? Did you burp? Did you yawn? How are we feeling?
I can say I feel a little light. Yeah, I feel lighter.
Nice. Yeah, it can help like separate you from heavy feelings. That's feedback that I've gotten too. It can
Yeah,
help you
yeah.
really separate. Like if anyone's saying anything, will I see it in the chat on the right side? Like in the
I
Zoom chat, I mean?
thought so, but oh, Bob,
Okay. Oh, I see
yes.
it now.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
okay,
I do.
yeah. So if anyone watching wants to put in what they're feeling, what they're experiencing, the chat is open.
Yeah. Yeah, emotions. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going to happen. Crying is totally fine. Normal, in fact, really. Feeling hungry later, feeling irritable later, even sometimes has been reported. So after we're done here, just make sure you take care of yourself, make sure you're nourished and hydrated and get some rest tonight. Oh yeah, relaxed. I love to see that. Mm, right. We can give it a minute. But whenever we're ready to continue, I'll let you decide, Britt.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead.
All right, sweet. All right. Now I'm gonna take this up. I'm never gonna not have pets. That simply wouldn't be okay for me. I'm not sure how people live without pets, but somehow they do. And maybe that's why they don't understand what I'm going through. Maybe that's why they don't understand why I'm still upset. I'm never gonna just be over it. I'm always gonna miss my pet. But I'm also gonna keep my heart open. And I'm gonna work towards honoring my pet's memory. Being understood by other people isn't really the goal. I know that I'm feeling everything that I need to. I might be replaying the events. I might be philosophizing what happened. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to really shut up about it. Even if my mood shifts, even as I move on. But people have trouble sitting next to me in my discomfort. And that's not actually a me problem. So even though this grief process is taking longer than expected, I deeply love, accept, and honor myself. It's just reflective of how much this pet meant to me. How much they still mean to me. They were an integral part of my life, a big part of the vibe in my home, and a huge part of my routine. In a way, like having a child. And if not a human child, then definitely a dependent. I was their entire world for their entire life. And they got to be my world for an unfortunately short period of my life. But that's the agreement we all sign when we get a pet. Unless something unfortunate happens to us, we're going to outlive our pets. And simply avoiding the topic isn't going to change that. I don't think my pet would want me to be moping around. I think they'd be worried about me. They'd come check on me. And since they're no longer part of this world, I think that they'd want me to be happy. And they wouldn't be jealous of any other pets, even if they have a jealous personality. So I still really miss my pet right now. I wish they were sitting here beside me right now. But I also understand the cycle of life. I already extended their life so much more. And in my own time, I will come to terms with that. But it won't be for anyone else's convenience or comfort. It'll just be the right way that I honor their memory. Maybe with a piece of art, maybe with a tattoo, maybe by volunteering at a shelter. Their memory will always be a part of my life. And some days are really harder than others. Sometimes I can get through the whole day without crying. Sometimes I wake up a mess missing them. Grief is not linear. Healing isn't linear. So I'm here to tell my nervous system that it's okay. All the ebbs and flows of this process are okay. Even when it isn't very pretty. This pet has also seen me in my best and worst moments. And so it is. Pausing here and taking a deep breath in. Holding it at the top. And letting it out when you're ready. How are we feeling? You may have noticed that Dexter came to say hi. He was pretty respectful just to the side here.
No, it was so nice. Oof, it's hard to put into words a little bit, I think.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I meant, like about how it can not necessarily replace talk therapy, but be like a nice like other option for yourself, for your mental health toolkit. Oh, so glad you almost feel whole again.
Yeah,
Love that.
calmer. It also just like it says out loud, I think, a lot of the things that we think, and there's something so powerful about just speaking them, just saying them, hearing ourselves say it, and while really just being a little bit not still, but like present. Like you can't really let your mind wander while you're repeating it plus tapping. It kind of takes like it
Yes.
eliminates distractions, like because you're doing two things at once, and
But it's yeah, a lot of like self-worth stuff comes up here. And I think that's what comes up too when people are trying to rush us through grief or keep the peace. It's kind of just an unfortunate part of our culture where we don't really like leave enough room for bereavement. Like even for humans, I don't think we even really do, and especially not for animals. Um,
no, and it like you were saying, it's just like all these things, their practices. It takes time to like get into something like this, meditation, yoga, anything like that.
yeah.
And that's what grief is too. It's a process, it's a practice, it's exploring different modalities and tools that can help support us, but it doesn't happen overnight, although people expect us to just be fine overnight.
Yeah, yeah, because it is kind of just uncomfortable. It's like when people don't know what to say. A lot of that, it's like they just don't know what to
Right.
say when really all they need to do is be present with you, really. But if you can't have
Exactly.
that, you can be present with yourself for this practice. Oh, I love that. Chest opened up slightly. It is a heart opening practice, I would say too, like for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you. That was
Yeah.
incredible. I'm so glad we got to do this alongside of you, and can't wait to do it again soon. As a reminder for everyone, we have on demand recorded incredible videos from Celeste that walk you through this. We have different topics and themes for them. And I know we have a couple that I am going to get to upload very soon. And then if you are interested in booking a one-on-one, there goes my light, that is available too. Yeah, people behind the scenes have a little, I need to do some tapping on this guy, I think next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some maybe calm his
You
nervous
can.
system. But
Yeah, you can tap on pets.
okay, great. I just feel very centered, and I feel like I kind of gave myself a little gift right there. So thank you for giving that to me and everyone tonight, and anyone that watches this after the fact. I hope this was an easy, low barrier way to experiment and try tapping, and encourage people to check out the videos or book a session with Celeste and drink water, right?
Yes, exactly. Drink
Great.
water. Any questions from anyone?
Yeah, any last questions? If anyone wants to throw some questions in the chat.
Maybe they're just vibing.
I think everyone's pretty content.
Yeah, because it's like that was kind of general. It's hard to like hit all the nooks and crannies of like everyone's specific story, which is what like one reason the one-to-ones can be good. And especially if you do it more than once and I get to know you and know your blind spots, it's kind of like the difference between working out at the gym on your own or with a trainer, like who might tell you to do some
Yeah.
extra reps that you don't want to do.
Yeah, no, makes a ton of sense. I'm gonna have to do one. I feel like there's some things I could be addressing.
Yeah, yeah, we can do it.
Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you found some comfort in this session. I apologize for my background noise, but hopefully you guys get it. It happens in my weird light situation, but I'm so honored and grateful for everyone, and I hope to see everyone soon.
Here's Dexter. He wanted to say hi so badly.
Hi, Dexter. Well, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, check out more of the videos and book a session with Celeste if you can.